going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 202 Show. I'm Ryan Saber, and today we're going to be talking a lot of comic books. First off, we're going to discuss how important it is that this DC 5G event works, how Warner Brothers might move forward with the Flash movie after Ezra Miller went full Steven Seagal on a female fan, and then we have some very interesting MCU rumors to discuss. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and introduce my co-hosts and very best friends, Mr. Matt Berentsen.
What's up?
Mr. Andrew Greenblatt.
Hello.
And Mr. Sean Corcoran.
Hola.
All right, so once again, if you're just joining us for the first time, we are the 202 Show, the podcast talk show where we talk sports, comic books, movies, music, and realistically, anything we can have an opinion on. Post new videos every week, so make sure to subscribe to the channel below and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the 202 Show. So, to start this off, I want to tell a quick story and talk about what I'm assuming was a prank or a hack of some sorts. It was definitely a hack. Either that or Google Play systems just completely blew up last night. So I was telling Matt about this as I'm going through it and it's happening. And I'm sitting in the hot tub last night and I'm looking for new music to listen to because you guys know me. I pretty much exclusively listen to pop punk and alt rock and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, okay, I want to mix it up. So I go on googleplay.com and I go to the charts. And at first I'm thinking, okay, I'm in the wrong country. It just has me set for being in the wrong country. And I'm thinking, okay, that's fine, because I'm looking at the charts and it's all these songs by, and I don't mean this in any racist way whatsoever, but their titles aren't in English, and the album art is all Asian people. So once again, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just in the wrong country. This has me set for the Japan charts or the Korean charts, whatever. Nope. These were the American charts, and I'm going to read to you just some of the titles in the charts. So number one is a Tuesday Slide by Drake, which is obviously a real song. Number two is called The Rain is Crossing. The artist is Maskama Cross XZX. The next one is all in German. I don't know if you can see that.
Nope.
Or I don't even know German. It might be Arabic. The artist name is spelled Galeki, Gail Kidzaz Wonkerton.
I'm seeing that.
Sounds German.
I'm seeing that list. I'm seeing that list now too. It's on my
Four
top
is
charts.
Where Love Begins by Jerzenkov Masraford. 5 is Your Day Without You by Cars Go Fly Flinzinger. So, me being curious, I actually went through and listened to the first couple, and I'm like, okay, this is just weird. And then I realized they're covers. But not good covers, really, really, really bad covers. And you have to remember, I made music. I made some really, really bad music. This is really, really bad music. So I went through each song, 1 through 61 and 71 and 74, just jumped around and took notes on what each song is individually. Now, I sent this to Matt last night. Some of these are real songs. When I say a title of a song, like one of them is Hotel California, that means it's a cover. It's not actually Hotel California, and it's a really bad cover. Some of these really bad covers have words. Some are just instrumentals. So here's my list of 2 through 61, and I'll try to go fast, and also you have to realize this is my list that I sent to Matt, so it also has my DVD commentary. But here we go. So number 1's a real song. Number 2 is a folk song. Number 3 is slow, awkward Latin. Number 4 is Hotel California. Number 5 is Love Yourself. Number 6 is Tears in Heaven. Number 7 is very uncomfortable acoustic music. Number 8 is a real song. Number 9, I just have no idea. Number 10 is jazz. Number 11 is a real song. Number 12 is Numb by Linkin Park. Number 13 is Open Your Eyes by Snow Patrol. Number 14 is jazz music. Number 15, I can't really understand it. Number 16, 17 are real songs. Number 18 is literally just ambient noises. Number 19, I have no idea. Number 20, I shit you not, Seven Nation Army on a keyboard without words. 21, I think it's an intro to a Japanese porno. 22, mixed so poorly my ears hurt. 23, average piano track. 24, yellow on piano with no words, but with flutes.
Oh, God.
25, some lovely funeral music on what I think is a saxophone. 26, imagine Dr. Wardiga doing Richard Marx karaoke. 27, Drops of Jupiter. Oof. 28, This Love by Camila Cabello, not Maroon 5. Disappointed. 29, again, mixed so poorly I had to skip it. 30, Sting. Wow. 31, acoustic, don't recognize it. 32, I can't understand it, but I do recognize it. 33, lovely Billie Eilish, and that was actually the best one I had heard up to that point. 34, this girl played with the EQ and telephone filter too much. 35, Camila Cabello again. 36, piano. 37, real. 38, Billie Jean by Breathe Carolina. 39, Spanish. 40, I'm assuming Camila Cabello again. 41, a song by Ali Gatti. Not a bad comparison to these, but very bad. 42, some really cool guitar riffs. 43, 1930s piano. 44, Camila Cabello again. 45, acoustic, no words. I hate it, but I don't know it. Fuck. 46, well, I'm assuming having a seizure feels like. 47, lower the vocals, my guy. 48, probably Camila Cabello again. 49, the scene in a movie from the 60s where you don't know whether or not to be scared or happy. 50, definitely not Love Yourself. 51, I don't know. 52, nope. 53, definitely not English. 54, nope. 55, not a good Post Malone impression. Actually, no. 56, 57, this song's from a Spanish movie when your girlfriend rides away on a horse with another man. 58, Now Hollerin'. 59, this is gospel music, not the Panic! At the Disco song, like this was literally gospel music. 60, I don't know who sings this, but I'm getting tired of looking it up. 61, not Tiny Dancer. 71, 2001 club music. And 74, sounds like it was recorded in a bus station. So whoever had this genius prank on Google Play, I commend you. But also, I wanted new music to listen to, and this was not it. But it was definitely entertaining.
It's that list is still there.
It is still there?
I just checked, like all the what you call it, like all the weird languages and shit. That's all still there. I just checked like a minute ago.
So once again, I don't know if it got hacked or if it was a prank or if Google Play systems just caught on fire with nobody being in the office. But if you're interested in listening to some of the worst covers you've ever heard, make sure you check out the Google Play charts. And I never thought I'd say that. All right. Moving forward. So AT&T announced a couple weeks ago that if their new summer event 5G fails, they're going to potentially shut down DC Comics Publishing. AT&T is obviously the new owner of DC Comics. They just bought the company out. The event's going to be based around one of my favorite characters, who is Wally West, taking over the Mobius chair, which, if you don't know, is essentially a magic space chair, which is influenced with all the knowledge in the galaxy. And at the end of the Flash Forward miniseries, which I personally really enjoyed, Wally sits in the chair to save the multiverse from dark antimatter, but in doing so, traps himself for eternity. And of course, with his newfound powers, it looks like Wally is going to spend the summer in the 5G event doing a lot of changing to the timeline to, quote-unquote, put things back together after two major reboots. Now, I have a couple of thoughts here.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Didn't Wally just kill a bunch of superheroes at like the Hero Sanctuary?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
Oh, believe me,
I was like, I could have sworn he was like he went to jail for mass murder.
Yep. Believe me, let me get there. Now, my thoughts here, and first of all, for the story itself, and this is what Greenblatt was clearly just alluding to. Why the hell can't you guys leave Wally alone? First of all, since Wally West has come back from DC Rebirth, he was pulled out of the time stream by Barry in 2016. Then he went to the Titans, did a couple cool things with the Titans. Then Damian Wayne stopped his heart while he was younger, so in the future he had a heart monitor and almost died. Then he went to therapy because he more or less couldn't cope with the fact that he came back to life and his wife Linda Park had no memory of him and both his kids are gone. And while in therapy, he more or less exploded and killed everybody else in the therapy office. Wally West, being like the nicest, kindest human being in the DC universe, accidentally murdered everybody.
Including Roy Harper.
Including Roy Harper, one of his best friends. I was pissed about this. So he went to jail after. Then this new god, who I'm totally blanking on the name right now, basically pulled him out of jail and said there's dark matter filling the antimatter universe and filling the actual multiverse, and you have to go around with this magic wand vacuum thing and clean it up. And that's where we got the Flash Forward miniseries, which just ended a couple months ago, came out a couple months ago. It was only 6 issues long, but as a Wally West story, I really enjoyed it. He more or less went to multiverse to universe to universe across the multiverse and had this magic wand vacuum thing and wiped up dark matter. And it was a fun read, but at the end, he finally, after 3 years of nonstop trying to get his children back, he gets his children back. Linda finally recognizes him, and then he realizes, oh wait, to save everything, I have to go sit in this chair for eternity, and my wife and kids can go back to normal life, and they'll be fine, but I can't join them. Why the hell can't you guys just leave Wally alone? Seriously, you knocked him off for all the new 52. You replaced him with the young version, who I like. I do like African-American Wally, but he's not the original Wally. Why can't you guys just let Wally West be back?
They have to make someone a target.
They have to make someone a target, and Wally has gotten the short end of the stick for every DC storyline over the past few years. Heroes in Crisis, which is the arc you were talking about, the miniseries that you were talking about where he goes to therapy and basically kills everybody, it was entirely blamed on him. It was totally his fault. And then they had him frame Booster Gold and Harley, which is the last thing Wally West would ever do. Like, oh my God.
Especially because Harley's been trying her best to be an absolute good guy.
Exactly. This is supposed to be the absolute good guy. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't understand it. So honestly, just why can't you leave Wally alone? So realistically, the second point is I understand you're trying to come up with new villains, and I appreciate you want to come up with new villains. So stop trying to take our favorite characters and making them villains. DC Comics did this in the 90s when they made Green Lantern Parallax. They did this in the Injustice universe when they made Superman essentially, what's his name from The Boys? Homelander. And they made him Ultraman and this evil dictator Superman. And then they do this with Heroes in Crisis. And then they make him essentially a god and Flash Forward, and now it looks like they're going to make him an evil god. So that's just my take on, first of all, the story itself. Now, realistically, I want to get your thoughts on that, if there's anything I missed that you guys think. But the main thing I want to talk about, first of all, is the fact that I don't think we're ever going to see any era where DC Comics isn't making comic book stories. Now, what I think is going to happen is even if the new owner, being AT&T, does decide to close the printing presses, I can't see them in a situation where they're not making new stories. So I think there's a very good chance that we see comic book publication 100% shifted into digital media and 100% shifted being online, being computers, iPads, cell phones, tablets, what have you. We're already seeing these, first of all, they've been publishing them online for multiple years now, and you can buy the new issues for $4 a piece. Not worth it. Because the other thing you can do is you have subscription services like Comixology, DC Universe, and Marvel Unlimited, where you can get a subscription service to read practically every comic book ever for $10 a month each. And so once again, and this is where I want to get your guys' opinion on this, I can't foresee a situation where DC's just not making new stories. Greenblatt, what are your thoughts? Because we're all comic guys.
I honestly think with the way DC's been going, I think they're going to shut down. I think AT&T is going to shut them down.
I mean, like, I think if AT shuts them down, I think they will get a new buyer though. Like, if
That's
they
my
do get
point.
shut, yeah, no, like, I have a feeling because AT&T is not a great company, and it wouldn't surprise me. I would break my heart, but it wouldn't surprise me in the least if AT&T shut DC down. It wouldn't surprise me in the least.
And we're talking, of course, DC comic book.
Yes, DC Comics, yeah. Well, because they're going to be
Not
chugging
talking
it.
about DC Comics
No,
in its
no.
entirety going on to
No,
this.
because they're going to be chugging out shows on HBO Max, like, for years. Like,
Yeah,
we're still getting a
exactly.
Green
But
Lantern
the
show.
other thing is, and my other point to this is that the content that DC's making that's still making the money, and I'm talking about the CW shows, which whether you like them or not at this point, because yes, I'll admit some of them have fallen off significantly. Arrow just ended. I think Flash is still running pretty strong. That's just me. I know you guys are still on the train. I caught up with Legends of Tomorrow now that we're in quarantine, and it's still pretty good. Got weird. It got really low in the 5th season at points, but it's still really good. The Flash, though, specifically, and Arrow too, over the last couple years, they've been taking the story arcs from the Rebirth comic books. If you watch the last season of The Flash, season 6 specifically, they're taking the first half of the season 6 for The Flash was the Bloodwork storyline, which was the Flash Rebirth, I want to say something like 20 to 30, which just was published a couple years ago. If you look at Arrow, and Arrow season 7, before they had the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths deal, Arrow season 7 was based on the Amico storyline and the Ninth Circle storyline that was from the Green Arrow comics in 2016. You see what I'm saying? So while they may not be making as much direct money from the comic books as they'd like to, the comic book stories are what's making the money on the big screen and the small screen. Matt, what are your thoughts? I know you have some ideas on this.
So I think I could see the whole idea of a physical comic book dying. I mean, we're seeing it with all sorts of print media.
No, exactly.
It just doesn't, it's not feasible anymore. And, to drop $5 a month for some people, or $5 a week for one comic book, when you're probably reading a few arcs at a time, it's hard.
No, you're definitely right.
Yeah. So I think it's almost smart to go subscription-based or to do it entirely digitally, but you got to drop the prices. I think if you drop the prices, a lot more people will be willing to buy comic books again, rather than finding them online and reading them illegally.
Yeah, on a site that you could end up with weird Asian porn downloaded on your hard drive and not know it.
Yeah, and then for some people like Greenblatt, that's a good thing. But most people don't want that. However, I think as far as any other sort of comic book media coming from DC right now, that's not going to go away. That's impossible.
No.
Superheroes and comics or comic book stories anyway, are at the height of their existence. Back in the late 90s, the only reason Fox owned half of Marvel was because Marvel was going under, and the only studio willing to make a movie
was Fox.
Yeah, exactly. So there's always going to be someone interested in buying. There's always going to be someone interested in creating stories and feeding money into this machine that is comic book right now.
And not just that, but it's not like we're talking about no-name characters here. We're talking about Batman, who, in my opinion, is the superhero of all superheroes. We're talking about Superman, who, in my opinion, is number 2. Number 3 is probably Spider-Man. But then you got guys like the Green Lanterns. Then you got guys like Aquaman, who I know a lot of people think Aquaman's a joke because of the 60s cartoon and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and Adult Swim and all that fun stuff. Robot Chicken, I mean. The Aquaman books are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you look at DC Comics, they have a lot of series going.
Yeah, like, they definitely got to trim down like how many series they're doing.
If they want to save money, just trim down. There's 3 different Batman runs. You have Detective Comics going. You have Batman the New Adventures going. You have Batman and Superman going. At one point, you had Batman Ninja Turtles. You had Batman Eternal going with the New 52. You had All-Star Batman going in Rebirth by Scott Snyder, which I actually really liked. And then you have the regular Batman run. And by the way, if you guys aren't reading the regular Batman run, that's my favorite run right now. It's insane. And yes, Greenblatt, we will talk about Punchline at some point, but not today. One way or another, you're looking at huge name characters. And you can't own the Batman name and own the Superman name and own the Flash name and not do something with it. It's like owning a Lamborghini and driving it twice a year. There's absolutely no point. There's absolutely no point. I definitely think we will see it go completely online because DC and AT&T are almost definitely losing money over the printing of the books. And the fact that the books are sitting up for $3.75 a piece, and they expect us to buy 6 of them a week. And it's just not going to happen. I love the idea of the DC Universe. I'm subscribed to DC Universe. I absolutely love it. Best $10 a month I've ever spent because I get to read everything ever. It's just, I agree with Matt. I find it very hard for actual people to leave their house or get the mail to them, but leave their house to go to a comic book shop and spend all this money a week. And you guys live with me. I used to do it in college, and you saw how much it cost me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I agree. But once again, I don't think we're going to be in a situation where there's no comic book content coming out. Let's shift gears real quick and talk about Ezra Miller. So last week, Ezra Miller, who played the Flash in that one Justice League movie that was really, really bad, was caught on camera choking a girl out and throwing her to the ground with his hands on her neck at what looked like a casual meet and greet. Now, normally I would like to make a joke here, but this is a man assaulting a woman, which is absolutely no laughing matter. But before he grabs her, she's like walking up to him like all tough, like pretending to walk up on him, which in hindsight is probably never a good idea to do with any person ever. But the girl, who looked maybe 18 and has one of the least threatening faces I've ever seen, was clearly kidding, clearly not going to punch out Ezra Miller, and was clearly not a threat. So he puts his hands on her, grabs her by the neck, and throws her to the ground. Naturally. To put this in perspective, a few years back, a random guy sucker punched Stephen Amell in the face, completely out of the blue, because the guy, and I quote, wanted to fight the Green Arrow. Stephen Amell did nothing. When the man asked why he didn't fight him, he replied, because I'm an adult. DC and Warner Brothers were about to start filming the new Flash movie for its 2022 release before the current pandemic. So if you're Jeff Johns, and for those of you who don't know, Jeff Johns is basically the man in charge of all DC and everything DC makes, what do you do? Matt, why don't you start us off?
Okay, so first, I don't think it was a meet and greet. I think she approached him in the street.
He was at a bar.
That's even worse.
At a bar. Yeah. So here's the thing. Since we saw that video, I haven't seen anything about it. I don't know, like, Ezra hasn't said anything. Warner Brothers, DC, we haven't found out who this girl is. There's been talks that she said, hey, make it look like we're fighting. So I don't know what the whole story is as far as
I thought it was fake at first.
And people are still saying it is. I'm not going to go either way till I know for sure that this girl says, hey, yeah, he was doing a bit with me, or if she's like, yeah, no, he straight up like choked me out. Either way, it's a little bit weird, and you don't want your faces to do that. Something that that DC doesn't do but probably should do and follow Marvel's footsteps in is when they hire their actors, they're hiring spokespeople.
Yes, exactly.
And these are people who are going to represent your brand. These are people who know that they're expected to do every circuit when it comes to promo. They're supposed to be funny. They're supposed to be likable. They're supposed to be on Kimmel and playing games and being fun and charismatic. Yeah, exactly. So DC has to look at this and understand that this is a bad look at their brand. I mean, they're recasting everyone else anyway, so I think at this point, it's like, who cares? Just kick him out. I liked Ezra Miller and if this is real, I'm upset to see him go. I know you didn't like him.
Yeah, I wasn't saying. But you also have to remember my idea of Barry Allen is and will always be Grant Gustin.
Yeah, of course. And
Even though he looks nothing like the Barry Allen in the comic books, he was supposed to be a little bit more probably looks like Stephen Amell, but a little bit more nerdy. But with blonde hair.
Yeah.
Huh? And blonde.
And blonde, yeah.
So, but even if you look at Marvel, you're right. Marvel hires their actors to be spokespeople, and traditionally the actors they hire have a very, very clean-cut image. Robert Downey Jr. might be the exception, but that all happened before he was Iron Man.
Yeah, he cleaned himself up for that whole
Robert
role,
Downey
and he's been
bad things went around maybe 99, 01, 02. He was hired as Iron Man in 08. Robert Downey Jr. was a very new person. They hire clean-cut people. Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Tom Holland, Sebastian
Jake
Stan.
Gyllenhaal.
Huh?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Don Cheadle. You know what I mean? These are all very – and even Jeremy Renner's been in some hot water.
They do have ScarJo, though.
Just killed that down right quick. Greenblatt, what was that?
They do have ScarJo, though, and she's been a bit iffy in the news like last couple of years.
Yeah, that's not her fault. That's people having an issue with her career.
No,
she's not going out and doing dumb things.
No, but it's things she's saying about like people who like Woody Allen and other people like that.
I think there's a distinction between someone who has an opinion on someone and someone who's choking people.
Yeah, no, I know, but I also had some more things to add to the Ezra thing.
And
there's another franchise you're not talking about, like that's Warner Brothers owned.
Who?
The new Harry Potter franchise. He's essentially like the face of that. He's who they've built the last two movies on, the new movies. He's like,
true.
Spoilers, he's Dumbledore's brother. Like Dumbledore had another brother that they revealed at the end of the last Wizarding World movie, but that's set as a prequel that has to do with Grindelwald, and he's revealed to be Dumbledore's brother, which I'm still not okay with. But I'm also a very big Harry Potter fan, but Ezra Miller has become one of the faces of this new franchise that they've been building. He's what the story is centered around.
But you also have to realize DC swung and missed, and they've admitted that they swung and missed.
Yeah.
They got rid of Ben Affleck as Batman. Now, whether or not they got rid of Ben Affleck or Ben Affleck got rid of them is a different question. But they split with Ben Affleck real quick right after he just happened to go to rehab and cheat on his wife. Even Henry Cavill got more of a bad boy image and he left, except I think Henry Cavill was a good Superman, but that's just
he didn't want to leave. He still wants to be. He said he still wants to do.
Yeah,
Superman.
It doesn't make sense. This company, Warner Brothers, making DC Comics movies is not well owned and not well managed at all.
Yeah.
And so, Sean, I'd like to get your opinion on this because you haven't really chimed in much. Would you be open if you're Jeff Johns and if you're one of the executive producers of Warner Brothers, would you just kill the movie altogether, which I've heard is a rumor, or do you just recast them? Because they're already recasting Batman, they already recast Superman potentially, but you look at this company and they're clearly okay with recasting these characters. Ben Affleck's out as Batman, Robert Pattinson's in. It seems like Henry Cavill's out as Superman, which he doesn't want, but it seems like Warner Brothers wants, and they're going to go in a new direction. They have Jason Momoa as Aquaman, who seems like he's going to be sticking around. Gal Gadot's got a new Wonder Woman movie coming out, what was supposed to be this year. I know they moved it. I don't remember.
Like November, I think.
Huh?
I think it's November now. I'm not sure, though.
That makes sense. That sounds right. Which I'm looking forward to. Personally, I think and I think everybody thinks Wonder Woman's first movie was the best DCEU movie so far.
They did a good job with it.
And two looks incredible.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal is Maxwell.
I know. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I also have a man crush on Pedro Pascal. So
yeah, huge Pedro Pascal fan.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It just
died a brutal death in Game of Thrones, though.
But the point is, I don't think you need to cancel the movie because your lead does something bad. You can recast them. The crew, the writers, the directors, the people who play Iris, the people who play the police, the people who play Thawne didn't do anything wrong. Matt, what's up?
So The only issue with recasting is I think they were okay with recasting because, like, essentially we were getting Flashpoint, which
Yeah.
was going to be the whole reason why, why out of nowhere Batman is
Ben
20.
Affleck's gone, Robert Pattinson's in.
Yeah, so
I thought that was
Batman's
a
20 years
standalone.
younger, and no, it was going to be part of it,
Was
and
it?
that's
I thought it was just the standalone thing that Matt
I
Reeves
think
was
it's
doing.
supposed to be both.
yeah. Either way,
Okay.
He's
so
supposed to be a standalone trilogy.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Either
Like
way,
a Dark Knight style.
Yes.
Okay.
either way, that could have been like the excuse for the whole recast. Now it's going to be a little bit harder to come up with a reason for the recast.
I
Yeah,
believe Ezra was heavily involved in the script, wasn't he?
I don't know about that.
I remember because like he was fighting for the Flash movie for a lot. He even came up with his own script that I think they were going to use. I think I remember seeing that like
I don't
a couple
remember
months
that.
ago.
I don't remember hearing that, but you definitely could be right. I don't know. I'm obviously a huge Flash fan. I have more Flash comic books than any other comic books. I have more Flash memorabilia than I have actually no Batman. But regardless, we're talking about one of my favorite characters here. Do I really want him represented by by a guy who chokes women and throws them down? Probably not. But I don't know. I think a simple recast is all you have to do. You don't have to kill the whole movie. You don't have to explain why it makes sense that all of a sudden Ezra Miller's out and some other guy's in.
Can I cut you off for a second?
Please do.
Have you seen the popular fan recast?
No, I haven't.
So they're talking about Alex Summers. He played Havoc in Days of Future Past.
It's Lucas Till.
Lucas Till. He plays
Alex Summers.
Alex Summers
is
guy,
Havoc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. But they're talking about him, and the concept art looks pretty cool. It looks really cool.
Dude, I would do that in a heartbeat.
I did find the multiple articles March 2019. Ezra Miller, like he was like they were on the roll, like on the the precipice of canceling it altogether. But he wrote a darker script to keep the character, and apparently him and who is it? I'm trying to find it, but like Hollywood Reporter did a thing about it. Collider did a thing about it March of last year.
Flash isn't supposed to be a dark script.
That's what.
No, but I'm explaining.
I know what you're trying to say, but this is what's happening. This is what the script that they have.
And that's probably why it's taken so long.
Him and Grant Morrison Ezra Miller and Grant Morrison they're the one they teamed up to write the thing.
And Grant Morrison, I've read Grant Morrison's run on the Flash in what I think is the early 90s, might be the late 80s. It was the Wally Flash right after Crisis. Or not right after Crisis, I think a couple issues after Crisis. But regardless, the Flash isn't supposed to be a dark character. That was the problem with Man of Steel. Man of Steel, for me, was too dark, too bland, and too much gray and white in the picture.
Also very, very long.
And very, very long, yes. It wasn't a happy movie.
No.
Superman's supposed to be a happy movie. Flash is supposed to be a happy movie. Even if you look at the Flash show, and they used to have it, I think it was this year, honestly, where the Flash was on at 8 and then Arrow's on at 9, and it was like light on, light off. It was two totally different things. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more comic book stuff. We got some Marvel stuff, and we're going to talk San Diego Comic-Con and what it could potentially mean if it gets canceled. You're watching the 202 show. The governor of California wants to close all large events for potentially the next 2 years, which would obviously mean a lot of things, but one of which, and probably most notable for the 4 people in this group and on this show, is that it'll be the inevitable cancellation of San Diego Comic-Con for this year and next year. The governor wants to shut it down for 2020 and 21, obviously because of coronavirus. And I think this is going to be a very big shock to the comic book community because if you don't know, San Diego Comic-Con is Christmas for comic book media. You have all these companies promoting new products, promoting new content. You have companies like Marvel and DC that are unveiling the trailers of the upcoming movies that we've all been waiting for. You have the CW DC is showing the trailers for all their shows. Now, blanking here. Now Disney has Disney Plus, and they're going to be doing the trailers for Marvel shows. How do you guys think if San Diego Comic-Con is shut down for the next 2 years, how do you think it'll affect how we get the new content or how we're teased with the new content?
I mean, at the end of the day, there's no content to tease. Everything's done. No one's filming. No one's putting anything out. Like, and then not for nothing, as far as movies go, everyone's going to put those on hold until they can put them in theaters again, because both Marvel and DC would be stupid to send anything directly to streaming.
No, you're right. You're definitely right.
New Mutants, please.
It's not going to happen.
I know. I just want to see that awful movie.
It's just, yeah, I mean, it sucks, but at the same time, it must be redundant to have it right now because everything stopped.
I still don't think, just because of common sense and the doctors, if you listen to the healthcare professionals like Dr. Fauci and some of the other people there are on TV and on the news talking about some of these things, first of all, there's a chance that this goes on until 2021.
Oh, easily. I think it will.
I foresee it potentially maybe easing up in the middle of the summer.
I don't think it will.
Hopefully life starts to get back to normal in the middle of the summer, in which case we could potentially have people filming things and TV shows coming back and movies coming back. Hopefully they have a plan for November, and then they have stuff moved till May. So yes, I agree with Matt that there's no point to having a Comic-Con if there's no content to unveil. My other idea could be you see a lot more animated content. Considering animated content, you could have people voice recording in remote locations.
And that's what they do already.
This show right now from our 4 homes. And what I'm saying is, because of the coronavirus, I think because these companies are going to go broke if they don't put out new content.
Yeah.
You know what happened with Disney? How Bob Iger unretired and took back control?
I believe
it. No, he did.
Now,
it's official.
And I don't know about Marvel. I'm assuming Marvel stopped their publishing. I don't know off the top of my head. DC, I know for a fact, has stopped their publishing, and they don't have any new books scheduled to come out until May, which really sucks because Dick Grayson's 1 issue away from getting his memory back in Nightwing. And
he still doesn't have it back?
He has it. He has it, but he has the Bruce Wayne memories and the implanted Talon memories.
What about the
He doesn't know who he is.
Okay, so does he have the Barbara memories? Because remember, they literally just got back together before.
He has vague memories of Bruce Wayne and he has vague memories of Talon.
It's such a stupid cliche to make people lose their memories now.
I literally tweeted at the writer.
He was just getting his happiness back. He got together back with Babs after so many disasters, and they got back together. All get shot in the head.
Get shot in the head by the KG Beast. Anyway, back on topic.
KG Beast.
Back on topic. I do agree with Matt on this in the sense that if Comic-Con gets canceled, there's no point because there's no content to display, nothing new to show. And it really sucks, but at the same time, that's where we are right now, and it has to do with safety. At the same time, I do expect it to come back. I don't expect this to go. I'm definitely not that person who says we should be opened up this week. Absolutely, the F not. People are going to die if we do that. People are going to die if we open the country up this week. But one way or another, these companies need to continue to produce content. How hard? And I'm on the outside. I don't work for DC Comics or work for DC Comic Publishing. How hard is it to make comic books and produce them digitally?
Probably not that difficult.
From separate locations. The writers are working from home. The artists are working from home.
I'm sure there's a way they can do it. I mean, it's 2020.
Content as well. The animators are probably still working from home. I bet you most of these professional animators have professional animating equipment at their house. You know what I mean?
Something.
While I agree that we're probably not going to see any live content, which also really sucks because The Flash was hitting stride season 6 after the beginning took a couple steps. Legends of Tomorrow was really hitting stride, and it sucks because we want to see the new content, but it has to do with safety.
I think if we can expect anything as far as content from whether it's Marvel or DC, the one thing I can see slipping through the cracks and eventually premiering and maybe even a little bit sooner is Marvel's What If.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only piece of content I really see us seeing either on time or a little bit sooner.
Because that's the only thing they can do.
Yeah, I mean, and James Gunn right now is saying that as far as Suicide Squad goes, that's right where it's supposed to be. Everyone's editing from home, but there's no way they don't release that theatrically.
No.
So
when is that supposed to come out, though? Is that 2021 or 2022?
No, this year, September, I believe.
I don't think there was ever an official release.
September, He said September or October. He said the fall.
If it was September or October, I feel like there would have been an official release date. That's too close.
He said sometime in the fall, I believe. Well, I'm checking.
Yeah,
I'm doing it right now.
Also, real quick while we're looking this up.
August 6th, 2021.
Okay. Oh, August 6th? Oh, I thought it was this year.
No,
2021.
We haven't even seen a teaser trailer yet.
No, and we're not going to.
No.
Yeah. But in the same same system as comic books, in San Diego Comic-Con, there's also another big event that takes place in California during the summer, E3.
Oh, exactly.
E3, that got canceled pretty early on, when this is the beginning stages of it. And
exactly.
They already have plans for people to work at home. A bunch of these companies already planning on doing digital reveals. They're gonna be doing Twitter videos, revealing this stuff. And some PlayStation, I believe it was PlayStation. They sent a stipend home to all of their employees who work on game design to build they paid them a stipend
while they're chilling.
Yeah, well, to pay them to give them their own rigs so they can work on the games while they're home.
Yeah,
they can build a design because the video game industry is thriving right now with this.
Oh, entirely. I want to get your opinion on this. Actually, do you think that the pandemic could delay the release of the PS5 and the Xbox X?
I mean,
100%.
They might jack up the prices on it a little bit. But they've been saying they still plan for a holiday release. I mean, it could. I can see it happening, but I'm in denial about it because
if the coronavirus is still a thing, going out on Black Friday is like a suicide mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we still have coronavirus concerns going into November, I think both Microsoft and Sony need to say, yeah, this isn't happening. We don't want people going out to purchase. 2, even shipping's dangerous.
Yeah.
So it would be the ethical decision to wait it out.
I mean, I'm personally planning on getting my PS5 from Amazon because
that doesn't make it better.
No, I know. I'm saying I'm not planning.
I was going to GameStop at midnight. I'm not going to lie to you. I was going to GameStop. Yeah. That's why I did.
There's a chance GameStop might not even be in business around that time because GameStop's going out of business.
Yeah, I believe it. So I could
very valid.
So,
but no, but at the same time, I feel like if God forbid we are still all trapped at home, and they do release the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, those are going to sell like wildfire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are going to sell like crazy. I'm thinking, and this is way more than I'd like to admit, but think about Madden Ultimate Team and FIFA Ultimate Team and Diamond Dynasty and how much they have to be making.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
right. They'll be making a boatload of money.
Nobody can go out and buy beer. Or, okay,
no,
you can buy beer.
Actually, yeah, you can. I go down the street.
Yeah, you can't go out to bars. You can't go out to restaurants. You got all this extra money. What the hell are you going to do with it?
Takeout, mostly.
And you got people sitting at home on their ass playing Diamond Dynasty and Ultimate Team all day. And You know what I mean? These video game companies have to be making bank right now. Moving forward, the last couple things I want to talk about, and realistically, the last entire thing has to do with Marvel, but the first couple things I want to talk about are some rumors that I've read over the past week. And the one that is 100% confirmed is the fact that Sam Raimi, the director of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, is going to be directing the upcoming Doctor Strange sequel, Multiverse of Madness. Now, personally, I think this is a really, 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 really good
thing.
I
love it. I love it.
First of all, if you look at this man's resume, minus Spider-Man 3, right off the bat, you have Spider-Man 2, which I think, and I know for a fact that Matt thinks, because I've talked to him about this a million times, is one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Easily.
Yeah.
But much more important than that, this man has written, directed, and produced a ton of horror movies, including Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, Darkman, the new Poltergeist movie, Drag Me to Hell, and The Gift. And from everything I've been reading, whether or not it be rumors or true, this movie, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, is supposed to be the best of both worlds. It's supposed to be the first Marvel movie that's a superhero movie and a horror movie at the same time. New Mutants doesn't count. Because that's a different company. It's Disney, MCU, New Mutants is obviously Fox. So, the villain of the movie, and I don't know if this is a rumor,
Nightmare.
but I also think it's almost been confirmed, if not definitely been confirmed. Villain's going to be Nightmare, who is essentially the scariest, probably one of the scariest comic book characters Marvel has. And he's more or less Marvel's version of Freddy Krueger and Satan mixed in one. Scarlet Witch, who is obviously played by Elizabeth Olsen, is supposed to have a huge role in this film. And also today, not that I like to say the days on the show because God forbid it dates it, but today being Thursday, the 16th, Boss Logic released a concept poster on Twitter, and it looks just nuts. It looks terrifying. It looks like a horror movie. It has Doctor Strange being followed by zombie Iron Man and zombie Vision in a dark woods, and Doctor Strange is possessed by Brother Voodoo, and it just looks awesome. I'm stoked for this movie. But what do you guys think? Sam Raimi is Spider-Man. I know, Sean, you said you're excited. I have to assume you guys are all excited about this.
I am. I love the Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. I don't like horror movies. I hate horror movies, but the Evil Dead.
I know you love those.
I love Army of Darkness. Holy shit! I also just love Bruce Campbell too.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Matt, what are your thoughts?
When they announced this, I don't think I could tell you the last time.
Original, like when it was like first leaked, it was a couple months ago.
Yeah, but it wasn't official until like this week.
Yeah. So anyway,
sorry about that.
You're good, F.
When discussion first came up about Sam Raimi taking over for directing Doctor Strange 2, I was so stoked. Doctor Strange is one of my favorite MCU characters, and then Sam Raimi, easily one of my favorite directors, and I think the combination of the two, and with that and the title being Multiverse of Madness, I think there's a lot that you can speculate, and I don't want to go into that too much, but
we'll do a whole show about that.
Oh, yeah. For sure. There is so much potential there. And the one thing I said way back, I was in high school at the time when they announced the Doctor Strange movie and they announced that Doctor Strange is going to be part of the MCU, is I cannot wait to see him take on some form of role with Scarlet Witch. And now that we're finally seeing that happen and see these two together, and this is apparently going to have a direct link from WandaVision.
Yeah.
I think there's so much cool stuff that's going to come out of this. We're going to see a whole other side of the MCU. It's going to create so much to build off of. I can't wait. This is the best news coming out of post-Endgame MCU, in my opinion.
Easily. I would be, and I definitely
Spider-Man coming back into the MCU.
Every Marvel movie. I've said this about a couple. I definitely said this about Infinity War, and I said this about Endgame, but I don't say this about everything. I would be very, 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 very shocked, surprised if this isn't good.
Yeah, This is set up for perfection.
Yes, and this is gonna absolutely hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
I'm very stoked for this. So another rumor I saw has to actually do with Ant-Man 3. First of all, there's a rumor it's being directed by one of the writers of Rick and Morty.
I don't think it's being directed. I think he's a contributing writer. He's
Contributing
writing.
writer. I know it
Good
has
enough.
to do with Rick and Morty cast. But the important rumor that goes through this is that Ant-Man 3 actually sounds like it's going to be the introduction of the Fantastic Four.
I
Now-
don't know.
I believe it.
I haven't seen any rumors about that, but I mean, I could see it happening.
Oh, I definitely saw these rumors. I saw a lot of these rumors. The way that I very easily see this happening is because Ant-Man has to do with the quantum realm. He happens to try to go to the quantum realm and accidentally goes to the negative zone.
I've been saying that
Stuck
for
in the
years.
negative zone.
I've been saying that for
Yeah,
years. David.
practice in the negative zone.
Oh, look, it's the Fantastic Four.
There you go.
God, I hope.
Yeah.
Can I transition to the next part since it's
Yeah.
transitioning?
First of all, before we do,
Well, you already sort of did with the gym.
which I already did tease, I could very easily see this happening.
Oh,
Just
100%.
because of how similar the quantum realm and the negative zone are, and how I don't want to say how easily one can make that mistake trying to go to one and accidentally go to the other.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yes.
I mean, Hank and Scott have both worked with they've both worked on things relating to the negative zone in like the comics and the cartoons.
Exactly.
So it's very easily possible that can happen.
All right, Greenblatt, let's go there.
John Krasinski he's been meeting with Disney about becoming. We all know that he's going to be Reed Richards. I mean, that's what people have
We
been
don't
wanting.
know.
We don't, but it's very highly likely.
This would be a dream come true.
It would.
This
And it-
honestly would be a dream. I don't think I've ever seen a fan casting
No.
that had so much momentum
I
behind
I
it,
was going to say the same thing.
that have so many people on board as John Krasinski as Reed Richards. That Marvel your pressure
and
to do this.
And Disney said they were interested with it too. Like,
Disney, okay, but originally
yeah,
when this rumor came out, it was because Disney forever ago, back in 2009, when preparing for Iron Man 2, approached Emily Blunt to be Black Widow. And
Really?
Emily Blunt said, this isn't a good role for me, and it obviously went Scarlett Johansson and
Thank
went
God.
very, very well.
don't forget John Krasinski auditioned for Captain America too.
That too. Also, but at the same time, the rumor is now, a couple years ago, that Disney and Marvel approached Emily Blunt again for another role, and that was all but confirmed to be Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. And that's when everybody picked up, well, if Emily Blunt's going to play Sue Storm, her husband, John Krasinski, would make a dope Reed Richards. And that just snowballed from there.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's
it's
behind
dream
it.
casting. It's such a perfect casting for the both of
It
them.
really is.
Can I say something
That was
controversial?
the first one who told
Go
me
for
about
it.
this, and I didn't believe it at first. And then I started to think about it, and I'm like, oh my God, this would be amazing.
I do not want Emily Blunt to play Sue Storm. I don't like him. I
Really?
don't like her. I don't like her as an actress. I have never seen her in a movie where I was genuinely interested. I don't think this is the role for
I
her.
thought you loved The Quiet Place.
It was an okay movie.
Okay.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it for her. I liked it because
Oh.
John Krasinski was in it. And quite frankly, if John Krasinski wasn't directing the second one, I wouldn't want to see it either because he's not even in it. Spoiler alert. But
No, he did it for like all 2 seconds.
Well, yeah, for
Yeah.
like a flashback scene.
Then he gets killed.
yeah. So I don't know. There's other people I would like or other actresses I would like for Sue Storm.
Oh.
John Krasinski, on the other hand, though, is perfect.
Hey Ryan, that Disney role you may have been thinking of with Emily Blunt may have been Mary Poppins because she's
It was
also
Mary Poppins.
because she's Mary Poppins. That may have been the
Okay.
Disney role. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, she's Mary Poppins.
Oh, it sounded good.
It did, but like, I mean, Disney did approach her for Mary.
Thought about
Poppins.
that too for a minute.
All right,
I
noted.
just-
Either
Noted.
way,
I still
Either
gotta
way.
watch. I still gotta watch
I'm gonna
that.
keep that in. I stand corrected.
Either way, I think that the Fantastic Four is easily the next big move as far as
Oh,
a
yeah.
team to bring in.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
without
think
question.
I
And
think
that actually leads us into the last segment for tonight. And that is looking at the Marvel's next phase. Who do we see being the big names? I think it's without any shadow of a doubt that Fantastic Four is going to be tier 1. With Reed Richards being the new Iron Man, theoretically.
okay. I can
Well,
see
Iron Man type role. You mean like base
Yes.
of the franchise? Okay.
I don't know if I see Reed Richards being the next like Iron Man type role, but I do see Doctor Doom being the next big bad.
Yes.
You
Yes.
stole that from me.
Sorry.
And that's really where I was going with this. If Doctor Doom, I don't know that he'll be the next big Thanos bad. I think
That's
he'll
gonna be Galactus. That's gonna be Galactus for the next big bag.
or Annihilus.
Or yeah,
If they
Either
do
would
the
work.
negative zone, it could be Annihilus.
yeah. I mean, I feel like if they do bring in the Fantastic Four through the negative zone, I think they're gonna have to tease like a Nihilus in some way.
Oh, they definitely have to tease Annihilus. It could be Annihilus. It could be Kang. It could be a lot of people. I think the easiest to assume is going to be Galactus
Yeah.
because the Fantastic Four is coming in and
No
Galactus
more
is
cloud monster.
villain and
Please
Avenger.
do not make him a cloud in space.
Yeah, no more giant space clouds. please.
But I feel like the Fantastic Four would be so much easier to bring in than the mutants. I think it would be a much easier way of bringing them in than through. I mean, with
think
like also
would be brought in by the multiverse.
I think so. I mean, like
Yeah.
I was thinking like multiverse of bandit. Like
It has to be the
like,
multiverse because, and I think we've discussed this on a show before.
I think we
That
have.
there's absolutely no way they can comprehensively just say, "Oh yeah, there was this school in New York where where mutants were chilling the whole time while the city was being attacked, and Cyclops and Professor X and Jean Grey and Storm were all on standby with the Chitauri invasion." That just doesn't work.
I'm
No.
seeing theories that Scarlet Witch, one way or another, has a huge role with the creation of mutants.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna see like a House of M type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or the
She's-
the antithesis of a House of M.
Yeah, where she takes them all away and then she brings them all back.
Yeah, exactly.
Or was it? Wait, wasn't it Polaris that brought everybody back?
I don't think so.
No, it was It
No, it
Jean
wasn't
Grey's-
Scarlet Witch,
it was
though.
it was like Jean Grey's daughter or something like
Rachel
future
Summers.
clone. Yes, Rachel Summers through like
Rachel Summers.
yeah, I
Um,
remember reading that. It was like Avengers versus X-Men. I
No,
believe.
and that would definitely make a lot of
Yeah.
sense. But like I said, I think it definitely has to be through the multiverse because there's no way you can just
No.
explain, "Oh yeah, they were there but didn't do anything" because they weren't involved. I don't know. Do you guys think they're writing Brie Larson out as Captain Marvel?
No
I
way.
don't know.
I don't
God,
think so.
no.
Really?
Absolutely not.
I love
She's
Brie
great.
Larson.
I
I
do
think
too, but I'm tired of seeing rumors that everybody hates her.
I mean, I know a bunch of people who strongly dislike her as Captain Marvel.
I don't get it. You have a bunch of like comic book nerds who are just so like against a strong female
Yeah.
character. And the thing is, they're like, "Oh, she's cocky. She's got an attitude."
She's
Okay,
the
so does
perfect
Character.
everyone in the
Have
MCU
you
is
seen what
cocky
she's
with
done?
an attitude.
I mean, come on.
The
Like-
only one who doesn't is
I would be too.
okay. Black Widow does too. She just doesn't show it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the only woman with powers, or not powers,
I mean-
the only woman with an attitude just
She-
keeps to herself.
She did
It's
show
so-
that in Iron Man 2 a bit, though.
Yes.
That's
Sure,
the
but-
only place we really saw it.
And the thing is, I think the reason we're seeing all these questions about Brie Larson potentially being written out is because of Brie Larson, not because of Captain Marvel.
She loves doing it. Like
I know
she
she does, but for
She's
some reason,
frequent.
people
She
don't
like
her.
frequently shares like fan art on her Twitter of like her as the character. She
And that's
loves
what I'm
it.
saying. I love Brie Larson as Captain Marvel.
There's no
I
way
just
they're
want to bring
writing
it
her
up
out.
because I saw this rumor that with the Miss Marvel TV series, they're going to use Captain Marvel as a going off point and just have her as a mentor, and you do Captain Marvel 2 and then transition to Kamala Khan. That's why I wanted to ask. I don't agree with it. I don't like the idea. I would love to see Brie
I
Larson in
think
future.
they're just gonna add her to the growing roster.
Yeah,
they're just gonna add
in
Kamala.
future movies. I would love to see more interactions between Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, and Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that was
yeah.
one of the high points of Endgame, even though it was for a few seconds.
Hey there, Peter Parker. What do you got for me?
Yeah, there you go. I want to bring this up because I saw this rumor,
Yeah.
and I
mean, and I think Kamal is like, she's going to be a big part. I mean, look what they're doing with the new, I mean, I know it's not MCU, but look what the new Avengers game that they're making.
Yeah.
Kamal is like she's like one of the huge pieces of that game.
she's
that they're
one of the
making.
title characters.
Yeah, like Disney wants Kamal, like they want her to be big, and I am all for it because she is such a fun character in the comics.
Can I ask you guys a question though?
Yeah,
Go for it.
As far as visually goes, do you think, agree or disagree, I guess, as far as CGI goes, is there a non-cheesy way to show between both Reed Richards and Kamala
Yeah.
the stretchy power? Because I can't picture a way that this doesn't look cartoonish and cheesy.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I think
Yes and no.
I think Marvel.
I
I think Disney will be able to do it. I mean, they've
But-
got the. I think they'll be able to handle it.
It's
I mean, there are going to be critics that think it look bad, but I mean,
I think my take is that if anybody can pull it off, it's going to be John Krasinski.
yeah.
well, yeah.
If anybody can pull off being a long, stretchy guy, it's going to be John Krasinski.
Yeah.
God, I wish Miles Teller could have pulled it off.
Nah. I didn't like that.
I wanted to. No, I said I wish he could have. I wanted.
And
to
I like
that
Miles Teller as an actor.
I do
but it
too.
didn't.
I wish they could have pulled that movie up. God, it was so bad.
I never wanted him as Reed Richards. I love him
It's
as
still
an actor.
really weird with Michael. I mean, I love Michael B. Jordan. It was still really weird to have him as like Johnny.
Yeah.
I still thought
Yeah.
that was really weird.
Much better Killmonger.
Kind of thought the whole cast was
100%.
kind
I
of
mean,
weird.
Easily one of the greatest Marvel villains of all. Like easily one of the
Yeah,
greatest MCU villains.
Most interesting for sure.
Yeah.
The one
They
thing
actually one of the few characters, the villains that they actually fleshed out as a character.
yeah.
They don't usually do that with their villains.
To answer Matt's question about how are they going to do it, I can tell you how they're not going to do it, and that's the elongated man on the Flash. At
Yeah.
one point, they literally had him swinging from building to building like Spider-Man, but instead of
Did they
webs, he
really?
just used his arms.
Oh my god.
And it was some of the worst CGI I think I've ever seen. Now, granted, I'm a Flash fan. And
Yeah.
I can
Burned your eyes, didn't it?
I can appreciate the show being weird.
Campy.
Yes, in campy. I also say to Taylor, because I make Taylor watch it with me sometimes, I'll be like, yeah, this is really bad. When he's swinging building to building and Iris is just hanging on to him like this, I'm like, okay, this is bad. It's
Question.
entertaining.
Is her hair
entertaining,
flowing the wrong
but
way?
it's bad. What's up?
Is her hair flowing the wrong
Yeah.
way?
So
That's
I don't foresee them being that campy.
No, of course not.
No.
I think it's just a hard CGI to pull off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have to imagine Marvel Studios and
Yeah.
Disney has a lot more money for it
And
to
like
pull it off than the CW does.
I mean,
yeah,
look
or
at
Fox.
I mean, Endgame was like the last 45 minutes were like a CGI, just nothing but CGI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
it's a
movies are
masterpiece.
yeah, those movies are filmed in front of a blue screen. No one knows what's
Yeah.
going on until they see it for themselves.
But it was
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah, which is why I think if anyone can nail fantastic like Reed Richards and Kamal, I think
It's gonna be John Krasinski.
Well,
Yeah.
I meant like the anime, like the CG team. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
All right, so
You'll
final
nail
question.
Reed Richards though. You'll definitely nail it.
Final question. I already led into this and kind of asked it. Aside from the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, who do you see carrying not phase 2. At this point, it's phase 4, 5, and 6 going forward, the next trilogy. I know we already discussed how, and I very much agree, I think Doctor Doom is going to be a huge part of this. I can see Doctor Doom being through phase 4, 5, and 6.
I see Doctor Doom as like the next Loki.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think Doctor Doom's going to be the next Thanos.
No.
Because
That's too hard to do.
first of all, in terms of power, in terms of power level, I think Doctor Doom has that power in the comic books,
He does.
but he definitely does in the comic books. I don't think they will translate that much power onto the big screen. And I was actually, believe it or not, having this exact conversation with Taylor because I felt like because of the MCU's portrayal of Thanos as a comic book character has become entirely overrated because non-comic book fans, people who just watch the MCU movies, have this idea that Thanos is the end-all, be-all Marvel villain.
Yeah.
And Thanos is the absolute scariest Marvel villain there is, and the best Marvel villain there is, where realistically, I think Magneto is a 6-time more intriguing character.
Yep.
Magneto, I think, is the most intriguing villain they have. And when they bring the X-Men in, Magneto will obviously be there phases 4 through 6. They will not kill him off. They cannot kill him off. I think Galactus is much more intimidating than Thanos ever was. Even with the Infinity Gauntlet, Galactus can just eat the planet. I think Annihilus has the power of Thanos, but none of the emotions of Thanos, almost more of an Ultron. Yeah, what's up, Beth?
Does Disney own the Punisher again, or is that
Yes,
still owned by someone?
end of the year.
Okay.
End of the year they get Punisher.
I wasn't sure because I didn't remember who owned the Punisher and like what's the holdup with that.
And even Dormammu. Dormammu, I think, in theory, can be a more terrifying villain than Thanos and a more powerful villain than Thanos.
What a wasted character.
Oh, entirely.
for a gag, essentially.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I definitely agree. I think Doctor Doom is the Loki of the future. I agree that that the big villain is probably going to be Galactus. If not Kang or Annihilus. Who is the villain in Secret Wars? Who caused Secret War?
Well, Doctor Doom was in 2, but I think 1 it was. I know Doctor Doom was in Secret Wars 2.
I know Doctor Doom was Secret Wars 2, but I know there was a rumor that they were doing Secret Wars. And so if they do Secret Wars, obviously the big villain's going to be Doctor Doom. There's so many angles they can go in. So my vision...
Secret Wars...
Huh?
I was going to say, Secret Wars would be super exciting.
Secret Wars would be insane.
That, he was already a big popular character, but I feel like that really solidified the fate of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we also have Adam Warlock waiting in the wings right now.
Adam Warlock could be the other... Adam Warlock, I think, could be the other way they transition mutant to
well, I mean, they sort of had it so like it was the Sovereign that made Adam Warlock in this one. Like in the MCU.
But Adam Warlock still has the power to do that in merge universes.
Yeah.
Well, like that is unless like they go a different route with him in the MCU.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Yeah, but
I think you make Adam Warlock to have Adam Warlock.
Yeah. But then we also have the Sentinel. I think it's Sentinel, which is like the I think I'm thinking of the Sentinel.
Nimrod.
I don't know. But also one of the characters I am most excited for in this. It's not this phase, but I think it's the next phase. Is I'm super excited for Blade. Blade is honestly that is such perfect cat. I remember watching the D23 thing.
Yeah.
I screamed when I saw that. I'm like,
yeah,
that is the most perfect casting of like out of most of these characters. Like that is such perfect cast. Blade is honestly my most anticipated film coming up over the next few years. I am so excited for Blade because it also brings in vampires. That brings in Dracula, so we get to
bring in Morbius.
Yes,
whatever's going on with that movie.
Yeah.
Fuck happened there. All right.
How do you guys feel about Morbius, by the way? Are you guys interested in it at all, or?
I am. I
know you are because you like Jared Leto too.
The only thing that grasps my interest about that movie is the fact that for some reason it's Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it.
Yeah, that's my biggest. What's going on?
All right.
Well, don't forget they brought in Vulture at the end of that trailer.
Yes,
that too.
I was like, what the hell was that?
All right, so who are the faces of the franchise for the next bunch of years?
I mean, like new characters. I'm guessing you're meaning, right? Because I mean, Spider-Man's the head, the face.
Be around. I expect Captain Marvel will be around. I would be very, 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 very surprised if this is the last Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Oh no! I mean, Sony said they were on board to keep doing it. Like they're on board to make a new deal.
I will say.
I mean, he's the face of the franchise right now.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Tom Holland. He's like universally loved as Spider-Man. I mean, he's the perfect combination. He's the perfect Peter Parker, and he's the perfect Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'd be very, very surprised if this is the last one.
He's gonna stick around, but like for new faces, it's got to be Reed. It's got to be the FF.
I mean, we gotta see what they're doing with Eternals too.
I know.
We have an entire superhero team coming in that we haven't even.
I mean, they're not really superheroes though.
They're more gods.
They're gods.
They are.
but-
They're bigger than gods.
We are getting Kit Harington as Black Knight.
Not confirmed.
That's
but
not for sure.
I thought it was.
Oh wait, yeah, that's correct.
Was it confirmed?
Yeah.
Kit Harington as Black Knight.
I'm most excited about Camille Nanjiani's character. I forget
Oh
who
my
he's playing.
god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So excited about that.
Realistically, in my vision, no pun intended. Fantastic Four.
Yeah, no, he's official. I'm
The
also
main
getting Richard
characters
Madden
of
in there.
X-Men, I when we have Avengers type crossovers, I don't think you're gonna see like the Colossus and the Nightwing, Nightcrawler and Iceman, but I think you could very easily see Cyclops join the Avengers. You could see Wolverine join the Avengers. Done it a bunch of times.
Jane Foster is going to
Storm.
be a thing.
What's up?
Don't forget we have Natalie Portman.
Yeah, Natalie Portman. And I also don't think Chris Hemsworth's going anywhere.
No,
I really hope not.
I mean, like especially after Ragnarok, like the rebranding.
I don't
of
think
his
he's
character.
going anywhere.
No, like he's
And also, and I think this is potentially the most important one, is Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther.
Oh god,
Yeah.
no, he's staying.
I think
I hope
well-
he does.
now that Captain America's gone, I think Black Panther takes over the Captain America role.
I disagree.
Well,
I think
no, we already have Falcon taking over.
Yes, I get that, but
Oh, you mean like that figurehead type thing?
yes.
Okay.
I
I
don't-
can see it, but I don't know if it would work.
Yeah,
Nah.
I don't know how long we get Chadwick Boseman's
No.
Black Panther because they've a few people, and I can't quote you who said what and what specifically, but like there's multiple Black Panthers, and they don't seem too afraid to like, say they give it to Shuri. Like it might happen.
I do know that he hates the Wakanda Forever thing. He hates it now.
Can't blame him.
No.
Yeah, it's like Brendan Urie, I write sins. Do you blame him?
Yeah.
Or Steven
But,
Tyler, Dream On?
Oh crap! What was the other thing? Oh, I was gonna say something super important, but I completely
Robert
slipped my
Plant
mind.
hating Stairway.
There you go.
And a guy, old time rock and roll, Bob Seger hates that song. He
I do
refuses.
too.
He refuses to play it at his concerts.
Okay. All right, so that is going to wrap it up. Thank you, guys. I think this actually probably been our best show so far. Not to pat ourselves on the back, but this is really, really good. I had a great time. Make sure you subscribe down below and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 202 Show. For everybody here, have a great night. And guys, I love you and I appreciate you.
Love you too, buddy.
Wait, you guys.